Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another ranking video. So today I'm going to be ranking all of my palettes from Meurte Cosmetics. So if you're new here or not new here, rankings are very hard for me. I find them very challenging. I am an autistic Libra with OCD, and so making decisions is very hard. But I set out to do a ranking video for all of the brands that I have multiple palettes from this month. I think it's a fun thought experiment, and also I got stuff from all of these brands this year, so it's a nice way to see where the new stuff kind of fits in with what I already owned. So today we're doing Meurte, and we'll see how this goes. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a definite soft spot for indie makeup and high-end makeup. And I tend to take a pretty analytical approach to the content I make, be it reviewing new products or talking about things I already know and love. I just try to be thoughtful and a little analytical, and I have new content every week. Especially right now, I have something almost every day, so I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, so I got a handful of new Meurte palettes this year, so this should be interesting. I think some of these picks might be controversial for some of you, and I'd be interested to see if you've been around here, if you know what the top ones will be, like the top three. I don't think they'll be too shocked by them. If you're interested in my makeup, it'll all be in the description box below. It's a bunch of Victoria Beckham that I've been trying out that I just got via the sale, including this lip gloss that I am obsessed with. I've been wearing it every day. And so much so that I just bought a backup while it's still on sale. And then my eyeshadow is one of the new holographic shades from Fenty Cosmetica. I'll have everything linked down below. Okay, so I do want to put a caveat here. I like all of these. None of these are on the chopping block to be decluttered. You know, sometimes when I've ranked things, it's like, this is bad, you know, and then this is like mid and this is really good. All of these are like good to amazing. None of these are bad. None of these are in the gonna get rid of. And I actually have another palette from Meurte coming to me that one of my friends decluttered, but we'll deal with that probably early next year. And then they are having a really good sale right now, and it's very tempting to buy some stuff, but I think I'm gonna hold off, save my money for something else. So I have 10 Meurte palettes, which is surprising. Like, it just feels like a lot. I didn't used to have, I just felt like I got like 4 this year, so I think that's why. So coming in last place, 10th place, is gonna be the Vida palette. So this hurts me. The theme of this really speaks to me. I love the artwork, the concept, all of it. I love the color story. I just don't grab this very often. I mean, if you're new here, I am Mexican American. I have a tattoo that doesn't match, obviously. I got this years ago, but same vibe. It is a sugar skull. So this really speaks to me, and I love that the two make a complete skull. And there's nothing wrong with these colors. It's just very vibrant, and I just don't use it that much. I do think it fits the theme of life. I like all of these shades. I really appreciate that Meurte really celebrates Mexican culture. It makes me very happy. Some of the shade names just make me happy when I see them, along with the colors. It's just very bright and colorful, and so I don't grab it as much as the other ones, but I still really love this. Yeah, still really love this. It just makes me happy to look at. And then in 9th place is gonna be the pair of that, and it is the Meurte palette. I love these. I think this is the coolest collection I've ever seen. I'm not reaching for these colors that much right now. It's very dark, and I'm just not doing really dark, colorful looks like this that much right now. Last year, this probably would have ranked higher. I'm just not using them that much, but I do love these blue tones here. I don't like this shimmer. You can see I've had to really dig into it to use it, and that is part of why this is lower. This shimmer though, there's only 3. This one's like a soft satin and it's fine, and this dark blue is pretty. It's just this one that kind of sucks. But the mattes in here are incredible. They're really beautiful. They work really well. I love it. It's just not the colors I'm grabbing for that often, but I love that I have it, and I would not get rid of it. Okay, so next is going to be Gemini 2. I really love this. I think this There's a lot of rose themed palettes out there. This is my perfect rose themed palette because it's really muted and really desaturated and it has olives. I know some people said that these shades all looked the same on them, at least on my olive undertone. They definitely look different. And I think Laura, one of the owners, you know, is also Mexican. So I think that plays into the colors that are chosen a lot. Because the people I see complaining about the colors tend to be very fair skinned. But I love these. If I want to go rosy, this is what I grab. And it doesn't lean too pink. There is some pinky there, but it doesn't lean too pink. Schmood is a really beautiful smoky shade. Some people don't like that all the shimmers are dark. Like there's two and they're really dark. I don't mind. I think of this as a smoky palette, which fits with Melt. Smoky eyes are my go-to. It's either something like this or a smoky eye. Really love the olivey tones here, and I think it's a really nice pairing, so really like this. I know some people have had trouble where like the shade looked like it went moldy or something. Thankfully, I've not had an issue. Don't really know what that's about. Okay, the next one is going to be a recent addition to my collection, and it is their Halloween Town palette. So this is part of their Nightmare Before Christmas collaboration. They did 2 palettes, 2 whole collections. I was really shocked they did a second whole collection. I bought both of them. Spoiler alert, that means the other one's higher up. I really like this. I think the artwork is really pretty. The palette shape is fitting, but also kind of annoying that it doesn't exactly match. But the shades match. Like the shades are magnetic and the same size, so you can interchange them if you wanted to. I really like this. Really loud motorcycle outside. I really like this. The purples worked really well. This shade, Warm's Wort, is one of the best shimmers Melt has done. It's just really beautiful. I don't want to swatch it. I don't really want to swatch anything, but it's really beautiful. This is a nice topper. These are both really pretty. These weren't the best blues they've done or that I've tried, but they weren't bad. It was just on a scale of like there's bad blues, there's blues, and then there's like good blues and there's great blues. These were in like they're fine range. But they fit with it. It's just really pretty. I like this a lot. I have no regrets from buying both collections. The next palette is another one that I think got really mixed reviews, and it is the Electrip palette. So people complain that this wasn't as pigmented as their other palettes, but I actually kind of like that. It's a little more buildable. You can get the same pigment, you just have to dip in twice instead of once. And I just think it's really beautiful. I love a warm, cool hybrid like this. It's very much like their version of Natasha Denona Zendo, which is one of my favorite Natasha Denona palettes. I've only used this red once, but I've used the peach on these shades quite a few times. I've used the blues. I really like this Magic Mush shade. It's just a standard metallic, but it's pretty. But Far Out is what I grab the most. I actually grab it most for these neutral shades. If that says anything about where my tastes have gone in the last year, this neutral brown with this neutral taupey kind of rusty, not rusty, there's like a hint of green to it. It's just so pretty. I really liked this collection. I think this is really beautiful. And I also really like this sparkly blue. A blue smoky eye was my first makeup look, and it's just kind of like in that comfort zone forever, I think, because of that. Okay, and the next palette is gonna be the Christmas Town palette. I think I like this a little bit more than the Halloween Town. The shimmers are just really special. So this one's like, this doesn't swatch well, but it looks really beautiful on the eyes. This one is spectacular. This is a really nice topper. This is a really nice topper. I love green. I like green and purple a lot. I don't really want to use this red that much. I like this red, but like this bottom part of the palette is just some of my favorite colors and some of the best shimmers that Melt has done. So really love this. Okay, so next is going to be one of their other holiday palettes, and it is the holiday palette from 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. So this was this year's holiday. Last year's was the Zodiac ones, which are on sale right now for $30 for like the whole collection, and it's very tempting. And this is the one from the year before, and I really love this. The Zodiac pans would fit with this, so I could mix and match which kind of has me leaning towards buying it. But I just love this. I love the theme. I love the color story. I do think these two shades are too similar, but I love the greens. I love the more mutedness of some of these. Like there's some vibrant pops, but there's a lot of muted tones. These all blend and melt together beautifully. You can layer them and get a really nice gradient. The shimmers aren't super special, but they're pretty. I just think this was a highly slept on palette because it was like a weird size and shape for them, and like the round pans, and it really threw people, but I think this was great and highly worth the money. And then, you know, again, you've got a lot of Mexican, I mean, they're in Spanish, but a lot of Mexican themed names and themed imagery, so it just makes me really happy. Actually, the same artist did this artwork and this artwork, I think, and this artwork. And I actually own some of his art as well. He is a Mexican artist. So, okay, so top three. I'm curious to know if anybody can guess these. I'm sure you can guess number one. The next one is a controversial palette. A lot of people really hate it, and I don't. I really love it, and it's the Mary Jane palette. I don't love that this is so raised that they don't really want to stack well, but that's a different thing. I love this. I think people, they said it was hard to use and too dark. It's a smoky palette. The theme is smoke. I mean, it's a specific type of smoke, but it is smoke. And it's meant to be a smoky eye. Like I saw a lot of reviews, so like, you can only do a smoky eye with this. And I'm like, what did you think you were buying? I have a whole video talking about this palette. I love this. I love the like green tones to a lot of these. They're very olivey. This Sweet Lucy shade, you do have to use this first and use like a tacky base because it is very textured, but it is beautiful. One of my favorite shimmers out there. It's just the perfect smoky olive. Every time I wear it, people ask me what's on my eyes. I just love it. And I like these like more gray tones here. I just think it's a really beautiful palette. I think it gets way more hate than it deserves. And then number two, it's gonna be Rust. So this is the one I would recommend to most people. I think this is the most user-friendly and the color story and formula, and it's just beautiful. I think it fits the color, the theme is perfect, the packaging is gorgeous. You go from very light to very dark. The shimmers in here are pretty. They're just kind of a standard shimmer, but they're really nice for a good smoky eye. If you want a bright shimmer, you'll have to grab your highlighter or something. I know a lot of people complain about not having an inner corner shade. You do, it's a matte. Or use your highlighter. If you're putting highlighter on your face, just put it on your inner corner. I love this. I have zero complaints. Zero would change nothing about this. I love this. And then number one, should be no surprise, it's gonna be Gemini 1. I love this palette so much. I think this is quintessential melt, color story, formula, everything. It's got one of the best black mattes I've ever used. It only has two shimmers, but they're really pretty. They're more of a standard metallic that people complain about, but I don't hate them. I think they look nice on the eyes. And they don't feel heavy like some standard metallics. And that the mix of like these yellowy mustard tones with these olives is just perfect. I know people call it this grungy palette. I've ranted about the overuse of the term grunge and the lack of meaning behind it, but I love these. You know, greeny olive tones are gonna be my neutral. They're gonna look the most natural on me. Having an olive undertone and brown eyes, they just work really well. So it just makes me really happy. So I love this and immediately knew it would be number one. Also, this packaging, I liked the old one. I never bought it, but I liked the old packaging, but this packaging, really beautiful. Okay, so that is my ranking. Let me know in the comments below what you think. How would you rank these? What you think of the palettes, all of that. I'd love to hear your comments. I love to see your comments and hear your thoughts. It's part of why I make videos, to talk to people and see what you think. So let me know in the comments below what you think, how you would rank them, all of that, like I said. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.